This story, Botswana's allegations against businesswoman Bridgette Motsepe-Radebe may lead to tensions between South Africa and its neighbour. Last week, AfriForum revealed that it had been approached by Botswana to take on a case against President Cyril Ramaphosa's sister-in-law. It claims Motsepe-Radebe was involved in stealing over 140 billion rand from it. The businesswoman has vehemently denied the allegations. Well, what does this all mean? We're joined tonight by Sandile Swan, an independent political analyst. Sandile, good morning and thank you very much for your time. We're talking to you this morning after a postponement of a meeting that was supposed to have taken place between President Masisi of Botswana and President Ramaphosa's special envoy. That's our State Security Minister, Ayanda Dlodlo. And of course, there was a report by the Daily Maverick suggesting that it's because of the whole Bridgette Motsepe-Radebe situation. But the presidency has denied this and saying it's due to scheduling challenges. But no matter how you look at this, it looks like the whole Mrs. Bridgette Motsepe-Radebe issue is somehow a factor in the relations currently between Pretoria and Gaborone. Or am I wrong?
Yes, I think let's call ourselves the general public for now. From a public's perspective, the situation is as follows. You have this new President Masisi there who comes from a part of the political elites. His father was actually in the first cabinet of Botswana, and his brother a long-term member of parliament. So he comes from a political family and very close to the Hamas. Now, Hama thought that he could have his way by appointing this child. He thought his little experience can be a puppet. But Hama has been suspected by his predecessors in the presidency of expanding corruption in Botswana. And to that extent, Botswana is now listed as one of the countries that need to resolve their issues with the European Union for money laundering. So there is a problem of corruption that Hama expanded in Botswana and that Masisi is trying to resolve in Botswana. Now, that we need to take as a starting point. As to the precise nature of Bridgette Radebe's involvement in the expansion of corruption in Botswana, it is not clear factually. And unfortunately, this is where AfriForum, the private prosecutions unit of AfriForum comes in, where now they are assisting the government of Botswana to source documents that would give hard evidence as to whether Bridgette Motsepe is innocent or not innocent in the matters of expanding corruption in Botswana with Ian Hama.
Now, when postponements of meetings of a special envoy from the South African presidency happen, I think people would step back and say, has it got anything to do with the Mrs. Bridgette Radebe situation? Or is that a bit far-fetched? Are we stretching things a little bit there?
I don't think we should say we're stretching things. I think that just accept for a moment, if you are a member of the public, that Masisi is busy in Botswana resolving the issue of corruption that has expanded during the Hama era. And there may be people, including South Africans, and Bridgette Motsepe might well be one of them. Unfortunately, if we're to be a little bit more direct about this, the South African government, when certain types of elites, and especially members of the upper echelons of the ruling party and the governing upper class are involved even in criminal activities, there is a lot of political interference and obstruction of justice, if I may use that word. So we don't know the facts, but as members of the public who don't know what is currently going on in precise terms in the government, there has been delays. They've been asked to give information to the Botswana government about the specific details of the transactions that have been going on between Bridgette Motsepe and the people of Botswana, regardless of who they may be. That information has been delayed, which is where AfriForum comes in. So they have to account for the fact that they have not released that information, and AfriForum is chasing that information.
Sandile, now finally, and very briefly, now we've seen Special Envoy, State Security Minister Ayanda Dlodlo, meetings with President Masisi being postponed, the presidency issuing a statement late yesterday afternoon, saying that no, this is due to scheduling challenges. Now, the question that I ask, understanding all of this, and as a member of the public, with that investigation by President Masisi into corruption in Botswana that may or may not involve South Africans, like Ms. Bridgette Radebe, who's denied vehemently any involvement in any sort of money laundering, can President Cyril Ramaphosa, can South Africa successfully manage relations, particularly our president, with Botswana, without a resolution of this matter?
I think it will be very, very difficult. I think South Africa has got to open up and release the documents proactively and be seen by the Botswana government as cooperating. The fact that our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is family members, he's married to the sister of Bridgette. So it's a big, big problem for South Africa, but he cannot solve mixed personal family problems with the serious official business of the state of South Africa and Botswana. So though he has got to separate those issues, and this does not need even any envoy. What it needs is for the Department of Justice to facilitate the release of those documents. We can't have private letters from a bank like Nedbank or ABSA absolving Bridgette Motsepe from this. We need documents that are released according to specified procedures of cooperation in justice by the two governments.
Thank you very much, Sandile Sana, political analyst there, for some of the insight about what's happening in this matter. I think it's going to take some time to be resolved. Now,